All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us again today for our monthly market talk. We will be talking about different updates on the Denver housing market trends today. So my name is Rachel. I'm here with the Prevail Group, and we sell houses to save dogs in the Denver metro area. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. Terry, you want to tell us what's going on in the roll-off world?
Sure. So I talked to you guys a few months ago about supply, and I thought that it was going to become an issue. We are now seeing that. Even though it's been 5.5 months, now we're seeing the residual. A lot of my contractors are having to travel north, south, to get supplies to even be able to finish jobs. So I don't know if they knew it was coming. I predicted it was coming. So that's where we're starting to see the trend on the construction side with the roll-off dumpsters, with my builders and all of that. So hopefully it doesn't last too long. Hopefully the supply will come back up and we won't see these issues for much longer. But it's a wait and see thing. So with that, my residual for my company, it has slowed down. So we've prepared for it. We knew it was coming. So we're ready for it. And we'll ride the wave until it crashes to the beach, and then we'll be back. So that's what we're seeing on the construction side right now. So.
Is there just out of curiosity, is there a specific thing that is seeing the most shortages? I mean, is it lumber? Is it roofing materials? What is it? Do you know?
It is definitely lumber.
Oh,
so, and some of that supply and demand has to do with residential also, because you're seeing a lot of people deciding to do that bathroom remodel or that kitchen remodel, and, a lot of DIY. So the contractors are having some issues with that. And that's always a thing that happens in the summer, not as extreme as it is right now, but they do see it every summer. The supply and demand goes a little haywire, but it's definitely lumber. All the other supplies do not seem to be any kind of an issue. Windows, doors, roofing materials, they're able to still get those. So it's simply just lumber.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Sarah, I know you've been busy. You want to update us on the mortgage side?
Yeah, there's a huge change that happened last night, very suddenly, to all mortgage lenders across the United States. So the FHFA is an agency, a government agency that manages Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are the two agencies that buy loans from the mortgage lenders to free up money in their portfolio so they can continue to lend, and they insure those loans and sell them off for securities and such. This happened once in 2012, but last night at 8 o'clock, they made a sudden announcement that blindsided the entire mortgage industry, that they were going to start charging a 0.5% of the loan amount on all refinances. And these are just refinances that are conventional. We have not seen this affect any government loans yet, but I would say they're probably not far behind. So the very sexy, very low interest rates that we were seeing up until last night, a lot of lenders have pulled back, because what's happening is this fee that they're going to start charging is going to go into place starting September 1st. So if your transaction is not completed by September 1st and sold to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the lenders are going to start eating these large fees, because we can't go back and put these on the borrowers. We have certain lending guidelines that say if we disclose these fees to you, we can't all of a sudden just throw another one on and say, hey, by the way, sorry, I need an extra $1,500. So what's going to start happening is these lenders are going to start eating these fees, because they're going to have to pay for them. September 1st is 2.5, 3 weeks away, not far. So that we've seen a huge move in the market today. So as of yesterday, I was quoting rates as low as 2.5%. And now we're above the 3 mark, which is still not bad. It's still a great time. It's just, unfortunately, I've had to make a lot of phone calls today to people that are shopping, to people that I've quoted, and we're kind of waiting for the market to get better. You know, we've had to make a decision whether we're going to pull the trigger or not. And so, unfortunately, it stinks. It literally blindsided the entire mortgage industry. And they claim that it's because of COVID, and they're trying to increase revenue so that, you know, they're not going to have issues securing loans in the near future. But yep, that was a big change that happened as of last night. I was on the computer last night till about 11:30 trying to lock in loans as fast as I could that I knew I could get in the door, and lots of painful conversations today. But we've still seen a really aggressive market out there, lots of people selling, lots of people buying. Our inventory is very low, very, very competitive offers. Sometimes most of my buyers have multiple offers going, competing against each other. So I can't press enough to make sure that you're fully pre-approved and ready to go, and you have all of your ducks in a row in order to be able to buy a house, just because it's really, really competitive right now. And yeah, I mean, it's a good time. It's just, you know, things change apparently at the blink of an eye, and we had no idea.
So is that for, you said that's for all loans? Is it for FHA, conventional?
Haven't seen it for government, FHA, and VA yet.
Okay.
I've only seen it for our conventional refinances.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to push it off onto purchases or not. I haven't seen any info on that today. I think a lot of lenders are still digesting the news. We've gotten all day, I've just gotten different emails of how every lender is handling it, because I work with 40 of them. So it's a work in progress, but we've definitely seen everybody pull back in their pricing because they're trying to cover the massive losses that they're about to ensue as of September 1. Because I mean, I would say it's been a huge refinance market of the late. Everybody is refinancing right now, and it's a great time, and you totally should be refinancing if it makes sense. But yeah, this will definitely throw a little bit of a wrench into some of our lenders that, I mean, we've all been thriving right now, but some of our lenders may not make it out of this because thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars are just going to have to pay in order to sell the loan.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's incredible. No warning on that or anything. Just wham, here you go. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I literally was driving home last night from a networking event that I was running, saw my email, called one of my owners in my company, and they were like, you better get in front of your computer stat because the lenders are going to shut off pricing loans here. I just know it. And it literally came out of the blue. They did it, from what I've been told, I was in the industry in 2012, but not doing the originating side. They did something very similar to this in 2012, and they called it a G fee, where they just started charging an extra fee in order to try to make up some of the losses that they had. And it was quite a disaster back then. So I imagine that it's going to be something that's going to cause a lot of issues, but it also wasn't very long lived. I think it was about at that time in 2012, it was 6 months that they did it. And then they went back to not charging that fee. Mm-hmm. With everything going on right now, I mean, we have no idea how long this can last.
Are you getting a lot of pushback from your customers? I mean, are they?
Today, yes.
I mean, they understand it. Are they angry with you?
No, I mean, I have a great article. I usually don't use CNBC as a very good reference, but the person that wrote this article, I think, puts what I just talked about in really good layman's terms. I've been sending them the article because it's not just like my company itself, it's right. Across the board. So, I mean, people are frustrated because they saw the really sexy below 2%, and people don't realize that there's actually not that much of a difference between 2% and 3 1/8, or 2.875 and 3 1/8. There's some, don't get me wrong, yeah. But the payment is not that drastically different. But when they see that rate, they kind of get married to it, and they really like it, and they get really excited because it's below 3. And having that conversation is harder I've had a lot of unhappy borrowers, and then they read the article I send them, and then they call me back and they're like, yeah, it's fine, let's just do it, because they're still having $400 a month savings. Like, we're not talking $100, like significant savings.
Right.
So yeah, today has been an interesting day, and I think the next few weeks will be very interesting, because
Yeah.
I've quoted a lot of people over these past few weeks that have said they're going to wait or not, whatnot, and we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I guess we were all kind of thinking there was a time when either the rates were going to go back up or they would do something.
Here's our something.
This is the start of the something, huh?
Yes,
Crazy.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
Keep your sanity. Let us
Yep.
know if you need help with that.
Yeah.
I
that's
drink
right.
of wine with you, Rach. So it's all
Nice. Well, thank you, Sarah.
yeah.
So next, I'd like to introduce you guys to Kevin Sally. He is our lead listing agent with very exciting news for all of us today. So Kevin, you want to take over?
Yeah, hi. I am Kevin Sally, and usually it's Amy and I here, but she's camping right now. So, we just went camping last weekend, and now she's out having fun again, camping again. So she's not here. I believe the exciting news Rachel's talking about is we just became our own independent brokerage. I finally got my employing broker's license, so we separated from our old brokerage, and now we're our own independent brokerage. So that's great news. That's awesome. But what I wanted to do today was just give you guys a little snapshot of the market. I know everybody's talks about how crazy it is right now, and kind of want to show everybody what that means. So I'm going to read some of the stuff off to you. So there's a couple interesting numbers here. The first one, which is just kind of crazy. So the average closed price for houses. Now this is all data through the end of July. So the reports are released in August, and this is through July. So the average closed price of a detached single-family home was $601,000 in the Denver metro area, which is just absolutely crazy. It's just gone up so much, and that's actually a 10% increase from this time last year, and a 7.5% increase from last month, from June. So there's a couple reasons for that. One, Denver, always remains a hot market. I mean, it just hasn't really slowed down that much for us. But a lot of that's due to the inventory too. So the active listings at the end of last month were up 1% over June, but we're down negative 31% from this time last year. So we have 31% less listings than we did this time last year. So because the demand is so high for here and the supply is so low, we're actually starting to see crosses in the data where you have more end of month closings than we have end of month listings. So we have more closings than houses are going on the market per month, which is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That rarely happens. It's happened a few times in the last 10 years, but so that's pretty interesting. So so residential market across the board, this includes detached and attached homes. The average price is $540,000. So actually almost $541,000, which is again up 9.5% from this time last year and 6.5% from last month. So, we all knew that this COVID thing was going to kind of push things from, our typical April, May, June timeframe. But I don't think anybody expected it to be that drastic this late in the year for real estate. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next few months and then leading into next year. I mean, all that really means is it's a good time to sell. If you want to sell, it's a great time to sell because there's just not enough inventory for the demand. You know, homes that are obviously staged right, prepared right for market, and listed right, they're just, you know, flying out the shelves. That, of course, doesn't apply for everything. You know, you still have, if you have a townhome where you have high HOAs, you know, that can take a little bit longer because all this stuff factors into loans. So for all the people out there thinking about selling, now's a good time. For all the buyers out there, well, just be patient. You know, that's all I have to say.
I've been telling everybody, Kev, patience is a virtue right now.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
You know, it helps to work with experienced agents and lenders, you know, people that can get you through this stuff. But you know, even all the experience in the world, people are still losing out.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, people are paying a lot over asking in some cases. I wonder if we're going to go back to the, you know, the appraisal troubles again. I don't know when lenders are going to stop doing the drive-by appraisals or whatever they're doing. But that's something to look out for in the future. So that's just a quick overview of the market, kind of what we're seeing, because it's very fascinating. So obviously next month I'll update everybody on what happened in August. We'll see how that's changed at all.
What's the average days on the market? Do you know?
Average days on market for July was actually 22, I believe, for single family,
Okay.
which is still
That's what I
very
read.
interesting. Detached 24 days in the MLS. That there's a lot of different factors involved in that, but
Sure.
yeah, still very quick.
Yeah.
Either way. So,
Wow.
yeah. That's really all I had, guys.
Thank you guys for your updates. And Kevin, you're talking about more closings than listings, which is why we do not have the pleasure of having Cody or Trish with us today. They're both at closings and staying very, very busy. So,
Yeah.
Sarah, Terry, you guys have any questions before we wrap this up?
Nope. Just staying on our toes with the daily changes of life right now.
Yeah. Right.
Well, we wish you all the best of luck. And for those watching this video, if you're interested in any of our services, please contact us and we will put you in touch with all the right people. And we look forward to talking to you. And if you have missed this market talk, you can join us live on our next market talk on the first Thursday in September, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So thank you guys for joining us like always, and nice to see you guys.
Thank you.
Everybody, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. See you next time.
All right, guys. Thank you.